guys, welcome to a very delayed Sigmar and Chill. Just John here with
Dave, as always.
As always. For the regular Realm rules, so I can't say that anymore, so I've missed the last couple. But yeah, today we're here to talk about Age of Sigmar and finally kind of peel the layers back and kind of what's been released and what's been talked about the Idoneth Deepkin fish elves.
Oh, the fish elves, they're so nice. So
nice. I mean, we're seeing a lot of like really nice kind of universal special rules coming out for the Deepkin.
We are. I'm really liking, one of the rules that was leaked today is Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So one of the rules that was shown today was that the eel riders have a special bubble.
Oh yeah, they have ethereal pretty much, like my ghosts do.
That also, when they charge, adds +1 to their saves. So
right. So and then if you add Mystic Shield on top of that as well, then you're charging with the 2-up invulnerable, which is just, it's a lot of great synergies. Yes. Now we're back to the synergies again.
Well, it is, and everything is about synergies in Age of Sigmar, and good synergies, or whether or not they're absolute garbage synergies, as I think we've discovered. But yeah, no, I can't remember the name of the character that you have to take, but if you take X as your general, then
Legolas on eel.
Sure.
Pretty much, yeah. It's the fish or the eel riding guy. It's the general part of it.
Yeah, but he then turns them, these cavalry troops, into battle line troops, which for me is like the fantasy come true, because I love cavalry, fast moving, hard hitting, lancing stuff. So, I'm just like, I'm super giddy now with that reveal. It's like, ooh.
Now I know, like last time, and kind of our lost dialogue killed episode, we were talking about how the Deepkin fight on land, because we see all these beautiful models of this like floating turtle and these floating eels and these floating fish, but like there's no sea everywhere. But the Deepkin are using, was it the Ether Sea?
Yeah, they're bringing their own sea with them, basically. Yeah, just kind of swims along with them. One of the characters, there are four major houses, and my notes for this are long gone. So, but the 4 major houses are led by the cavalry type, which also includes the big ass sea turtles with the awesome chariots on the back. The thralls have a leader. They're one of the houses also. The thralls are the ones without any eyes.
Yeah, no, I love the background on those guys there. Yeah,
I do too. But the thought of painting enough thralls,
you don't have to paint eyes anymore though, so it speeds the whole thing up.
Eyes were never
you can do like a the tabletop plus on how to paint thrall eyes.
How to paint Idoneth thrall eyes.
You just don't.
Done. Here's your 5-second video. Uncle Dave's 5-second video how to paint thrall eyes.
And then a 7-minute ad afterwards as a tradition.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's amazing, but I love the way that works for us.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, get 500 subscribers, get 1,000 subscribers. Now you can get ads. Oh, but your 4-minute video, I'm gonna have a 6-minute ad. Man, that was off topic pretty quick.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. We're still technically on topic.
We're still technically on. So the Ether Sea they bring with them is kind of like the way I kind of think of it is, if you remember like 300, like the movie 300, right? When the oracles consult with the stripper dancers up at the top of the tower. Okay. And they're like floating around, and they're like their hair and their clothes are moving all like they're underwater, but they're kind of above land. Right. So it's almost like ghostly.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the 4 houses generates it so they can go and do this harvesting of souls so they can keep themselves alive, because Teclis screwed up.
Who's like, I'm going to make fish elves, and then oh no, not like that, and then I just kind of pushed them aside there.
Well, Teclis was like, all right, I'm going to recreate my high elves. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be awesome. So as Slaanesh is captured now, right? They're taking all the elf souls out of him.
That's a very painful procedure.
Depends how they're getting it. I mean, if it's a binge and purge, not so bad. But if it's coming the other way,
very Slaanesh.
Very Slaanesh. So they tested the souls and started creating stuff. They were like, hey, this is good. We're good. This is great. So Teclis did this where he creates these elves, and it turns out that all of the purifying they did to make the souls whole again didn't work. Not one bit. That's why you end up with
the Deepkin were like the first people they made, right? After they started freeing.
Each of the 4 pantheon for the elves in the new Sigmar lore, as opposed to old fantasy, made their own followers. So, you've got the daughters of Cain are the, you know, they made them in their image, and they're kind of messed up, but they're messed up in a way they wanted. So they were like, we're good. Snake ladies. Fine. We'll keep them. Alariel, I can't remember who the actual wood queen is, but Alariel's goddess, whoever that is, didn't even want her. She was mad at the wood elves for not helping her stop the invasion of X woods, and she was like, fine, I don't need you anymore. I'm just going to make dryads, call it good.
Yeah.
So
like tree people, they'll be my friends.
So you got Teclis, who's, well, I want to make my elves again. So he's making his elves, only it didn't work out. And he went, okay, cool. This didn't work. So shoot, I'm going to love him anyway. And they went, nah.
They went all like Hot Topic emo teen on their dad.
No, we're messed up. And so they ran and hid in the bottom of the oceans away from him where he couldn't get to them or something. So I don't know, the lore fluff wise, the writing for this and the way that they've fleshed this out and the way that they've released mostly unique looking kits. I mean,
we're getting a couple different dual purpose kits out of the range. You know, as is kind of tradition and a really good way to kind of flesh out every range. But this is a very large release and a very full range.
It's trickling. So Daughters of Cain was released. Everything came out at once.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, here you go. Nothing exists for these already at all. So they have.
Well, they had like Cauldron of Blood, and they had like the witch elves and things like that. Yeah.
But for the rest of these guys, the Idoneth, nothing.
Right.
So they literally had to create something brand new from scratch to satisfy an itch that people were having. Which really is satisfying an itch for old elf fans and people like me who.
But it's literally insane. Like if you describe it to someone like, and if you look at kind of like recent armies that were created, you have like obviously Stormcasper, the last like new army, you know, which is, you know, souls and habit armor. Even then you're like, okay, yeah, I can see you're going a little bit more, you know, sci-fi fantasy, a little bit more, you know, than the old world kind of stuff.
Right.
But this is just batshit insane.
Oh yeah, there was some serious mushroom action happening.
Oh yeah, but like they turned their stuff up to like 11, and I love it because it's kind of GW at its best, where when they go insane and turn everything up to 11, it either really works or it really doesn't. And this is like hitting so many keys. I think locally we have about 4 or 5 people who are like, oh yeah, I want to start Deepkin. And like considering our last Sigmar tournament had like 12 people show.
Was it 12? I thought we had 16.
Oh, 12 or 16 people. Yeah, we have 5 people now being like, yeah, I'm going to do Deepkin. Then it's really firing on all cylinders. Was it Milan? The wave cloak guy?
The Eidolon of Mathlan.
Yeah, Mathlan.
He has like 3 different incarnations. He's got a spellcaster incarnation. He's got a close combat incarnation, and he's got a shooty in, you know, like I stand back and shoot, and they're all built from the same kit, and he's nuts, you know. I'm
surprised at the size of him. Like when we started seeing the photos trickle out of Adepticon, like I was like, okay, yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, it's a guy, like just a regular hero with like a really cool sea cloak. And then this week with the pre-orders coming out, I see that it's like $120 kit.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus, why is it so much? But this guy's huge.
Yeah, it is. And the way that the kit works is I want to say there's 3 different cloaks. I mean, you could almost make 3 different models out of this kit, you know, except the body you'll have to magnetize the body and then swap out arms and stuff. But you know, it's a really intricate looking kit. Like it does not look easy to build.
No, or transport. That's kind of like my concern right there. Was like, how in the hell do I?
Right. And you'll just wait for battle foam to make it.
Like the Mathline curve. But even then, just pulling it, it's so intricate. Like, and I'm looking at it there, like as a 40k Eldar player, like maybe I can make an avatar out of that, and maybe like make a cape of blood.
Oh yeah,
like really weird. But like just the whole modeling on it is just gorgeous. This entire range, great looking models all around.
The boat.
Yep, just the scenery piece.
The scenery piece itself looks cool, but it doesn't look that impressive. Not really. You know, if you look at it, it's just kind of like, ooh, ghosty painted boards.
It's a $40 scenery kit. You know, there's only so much they're going to do.
But it has really awesome abilities, apparently. And I didn't catch them today while I was listening to people talk about it, but there was a game played on Warhammer Live where it was Nurgle versus the Idoneth, and he had whoever was he paid for the senior piece, and it's two pieces actually, not just one piece. Like you put the boat together and set it there. It's instead of one tree in the middle of the field, he set up one half of the boat on one side and one half on the other to get the benefits of wherever he happened to be. The Thralls have a deep strike kind of alpha strike ability.
So they can kind of seep out from the boat, right? Or just anywhere. In general?
In general.
Okay.
Yeah, they can just poof. We're gone to the ether. Poof, we're back, kind of thing.
The other really nice rule I like in there that they seem to have as a universal special rule is kind of a little borrowed from 40K's character ruling, where you can only shoot at the closest unit. Recently, we've started seeing shooting being hugely powerful in Sigmar, especially when you have character like Khorne. Like they if you take out their characters, it neuters them a lot.
Well, one character, just that stupid banner bearer. The rest of the stuff, you get rid of the banner bearer, and then everybody's.
Yeah, I was joking with one of our local players, Brandon, about that yesterday. How like when he's describing his army, like I've got Wrathmongers, and I've got these guys, and I've got these guys, and I have this guy here. Don't worry about him. And then I got these guys, and then I got these guys. Because can we
go back to what was that guy back there?
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Those are the Wrathmongers. No, after the Wrathmongers. What was that?
But yeah, with shooting taking such a front seat to everything right now, we're like Caradon Overlords. They can really do nasty alpha striking for shooting. Stormcast have some awful great shooting abilities. Having an army where if you max out your battle line of thralls and just keep them forward, then you are keeping safe your Eidolon, you're keeping safe all of your big heavy hitters, your 2+ invulnerable saved eels,
right?
Like just the strategy that's going to go into kind of countering the Deepkin is going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, we've only seen so much right now. There's 4 houses, and we've seen the Eel Rider house, and we've seen the Eyeless house, and there's 2 other houses still to see. Now, one of the characters the generate stuff is my favorite character model that they've made so far is the Swiss Army Octopus. Which I'm not sure exactly what he does besides keeping the tally of the souls that they have collected.
I haven't seen rules fall from him, but based on his background and everything that we're being talked about, I'm sure he's going to be some kind of buff to the Thralls and the Thralls around him.
See, he's not part of the Thrall house.
But he counts how many souls you have to take to kind of keep the Thralls alive.
No. To keep the rest of the
guys alive.
The rest of the elves alive in the other place. The Thralls are just kind of screwed. From what I can understand, the Thralls are just kind of screwed.
Sure. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he goes character-wise, like kind of what buffs he gives. I saw that model like a sight-on view, and he is a large model.
Yes. It's a cavalry-based size model.
Yeah, it's huge. So I'm very excited to kind of see that coming. The War Turtle. That's
so sexy.
It's very sexy. I instantly wanted to kind of make a Terry Pratchett-esque diorama of like a turtle with 4 horses on the back.
It's the recurring theme right now.
Yeah.
People are like, hey, can we do this? How big is that model? Is it big enough to hold
it looks
4 elephants? Maybe.
It looks orc truck size. It doesn't look super huge, not super oversized.
They have a new unique base flying stand that they've created for this race and that turtle because it's so big and it is in fact flying. So, that's
or floating on the ether sea,
swimming along. So pre-orders went out, and I ordered.
Because you're going hard into Deepkin.
Yeah, but I'm not going hard like everybody else is. Like I'm literally not going to buy a single Thrall. Once I found out I didn't have to, I'm not going to. I want to play an absolute just behemoth-sized cavalry only
This
army.
is when we find out they're like 200 points for a unit of 3.
Oh, it is. It's nuts. But that's okay because, eventually we'll start playing 2,000 up here instead of smaller amounts as everybody has grown their collections. So, 2,000 of it is like 2 Leviathan models, sea turtles, and, like 5 units of eel riders. Perfect. That's all I want. Low model count, not having to move skeletons for an hour to be able to get them to over there.
You're giving up on death already.
I just want to have an alternate option to play in case I don't feel like having to use a ton of models.
So you're going cavalry heavy. I think if I was to do Deepkin, I would do kind of what everyone else is talking about right now, where just like a ton of thralls to kind of eat up shooting and kind of bubble wrap the more important guys.
Right.
Definitely won the Mathlan, like the Elon of Mathlan, just because he is so insanely beautiful as a model. But I'm sticking strong with my Night Hunt. I gotta because just like everyone else, I'm like, I gotta buy all of those things.
Right.
Apart from the dice. The dice look...
It looks like a nice attempt at a really good themed die.
But when they're see-through, you're like...
Yeah, they're not.
This is 6. No, that's 3. No, shh. Look through it. But with the kind of the other releases from Adepticon, and kind of like the little teaser trailers kind of signaling the end of Malign Portents and kind of the shift towards magic, which I'm sure we'll talk about when you get back from your jaunt around the world.
I'm going to have to bring back Idoneth with me from Warhammer World because I won't be here to order it when the pre-order goes out.
Go send a message, be like, hey,
no internet on a boat, man.
I'll pre-order it for you. I'll let you know. But yeah,
you got $17 of Thralls Day. What are you gonna do?
I'll buy them off you. The local pennies on the dollar.
The local friendly game store is really pissed.
But no, like with the previews coming out for the end of Malign Portents and kind of the way Nagash's story is kind of rolling along, with a kind of tease of a new black coach that I'm seeing there, I'm like, I can't. If that video didn't come out at Adepticon and I didn't like 80% know that was a black coach, I would absolutely dump my 4-unit army and move on and be like, yay, fish people. But kind of seeing how good the Knight of Shrouds kit was and how good the black coach kit looks like it's going to be.
It does look good.
I gotta stick with Night Hunt until, at least because I think there's a battle tomb coming for it. If there's not a battle tomb by January, I'm gonna absolutely switch to something else.
For just not Night Hunt?
For Night Hunt. Like I said, I'm 80% sure there's gonna be a Night Hunt battle tomb coming this year. Just based off of kind of the way Malign,
I can see that actually. Yeah.
The way Malign Portents has been kind of coming, the way that Night Hunt is still very popular. Even though it's a 6-unit army.
Keeps getting banhammered with the Nerf hammer.
Where they're like, we're going to adjust the more and go, no. Oh, we got to adjust it again. I think the most I saw it adjusted twice in one day. But hey, at least it's being worked on and it's still fair. Yeah. So like I said, I'm going to hang out for that there. One thing we didn't touch on really quick for the Deepkin, the tides, the table for the tides.
It's a 4-cycle tide as opposed to. So I'm seeing a theme recurring over and over again. Like so you had the Nurgle. Nurgle had their little chart wheel that you spun, and there was another army that has something like that as well, and I can't remember what it is right now off the top of my head. And then there's these guys and the tides. So the first each full round you have a different ability, and then it repeats if the game goes along. But let's be honest, it's not going to.
Yeah, but it's Age of Sigmar. I've very rarely had a game last 5 battle rounds.
Right.
But I'm not very good, so there's that too.
First round is everybody counts as in cover for shooting. Second round
which screws you over because you can only shoot at that closest unit, which is in cover, which is a crappy thrall unit. So it's like, why even shoot?
Well, you always roll the dice, John. Just because we suck at rolling dice doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that are like, what do I got to hit that? A 6?
Oh, look at that.
Did you even look at the dice?
A bunch of squiggly lines.
Deepkin dice. Turn 2 is something with charging. And moving, and I'm drawing a blank, but turn 3 is the one that matters the most to me. Phase 3 is every unit in your army attacks first in close combat.
Yes.
And that goes for both rounds, yours and your opponent's.
Which is disgusting.
It is, which is why I kind of really like the idea of the cavalry getting stuck in, because, you get in there on turn 2, and then turn 3, it's like everything goes first.
Yeah. And that's like a super hard thing for say someone like me, or even like a general death army to counter.
Right.
Because general death, or like even something like maybe Nurgle, where you're not moving hugely quickly, if you get into combat turn 3, that's a hell of a lot of attacks and to weather for that turn. And what the Deepkin, do their spear stuff have like rend or anything like that there, where it's...
I haven't seen the actual stat line for weapons, but I'm fairly they have to.
But whatever it is, you have to like having to weather 2 entire turns, and there's the times when you're like, okay, sweet, I got the turn. I really needed to get to go first this time. I needed the double turn. But you're like, I don't care. I'm still going to go first.
Oh, you get to move first this turn, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do whatever you want.
So, I mean, you would almost want to, at that point in turn 3, if you're going first, getting the hell away and just kind of like backing away. But even then, this is kind of it's a big meta shifting army, because it's harder to shoot at, and the target priority changes because you kind of have to shoot at a certain thing.
Right.
It kind of counters a lot of hard assault armies, because if it hits turn 3, you have to have some survivability to be able to kind of weather that storm that's coming through.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be, I'm really excited to play against Deepkin and kind of start getting my strategy, because it seems to be like it's released as kind of a hard counter to a lot of things.
It just feels like it's not necessarily that it's a hard counter to a lot of things. I think they did a really good job of making it fit in the way that it could be good at a lot of different things. Like you're not going to be able to be good at everything with this Deepkin army, but because if you don't have the general on the seahorse, so you have to have thralls, then you're not going to have a lot of the heavy hitter troops. You're going to be a different type of Deepkin army than what I want to run, or whatever the other stuff is that we still haven't seen yet, revealed stat line wise. It feels like they're doing a really good job of making this a jack of all trades against most armies. You've got some shooting, you've got good close combat, you've got good magic. One of the Eidolon of Mathland has some sort of super ability, and I didn't catch it today, but they kept talking about it, and I kept having to work instead of watch. I know, instead of watch that, so I kept missing it. But they just kept raving about how awesome this ability was, and so it has a lot of really good magic. It has potential to be really good at one thing, or good enough at X thing. So like if you're playing against somebody that has a small model count army, like 6 dudes on boars or something like that, then you're gonna pretty much smoke them. If you're playing against somebody that has a bunch of regenerating units, if you're just a single one-off game, it seems like how you want to build this force to be able to deal with threat X as you play along, but if for the sake of a tournament, I think you're just going to kind of see a soup combination of stuff, unless I'm in it, in which case you're just going to see 5 Leviathans.
You can see eels.
5 Leviathans and a bunch of eels. Okay.
Well, that's how you beat
and
Dave.
4 boats.
4 boats.
4 boats.
Gonna max out those scenery pieces.
Gonna lay them in a line across the center to block line of sight. Since I'm flying, I'll just go over it. You have to walk around it.
Oh, dude, I'm a ghost. I just fly over things as it is. But yeah, that's Deepkin. Like I said, I want to keep it kind of short and sweet, YouTubeable, and kind of stick to our average view length. And then Dave, you're off to the ocean.
I'm 12 days on the ocean.
You're being deported back across the sea.
I know. I'm going back to the place I was never from. So
they're letting you on the Warhammer TV stream, community's Twitch stream, right?
They are actually. Which
am I allowed to say that?
No,
or I did that up?
You are. It's cool. 2 days before I leave. It's pretty much out of the bag there. I talked to the head of the division, Martin, and said, "Hey, I'm going to be over there. What do you have to do to get on the stream?" And he said, "Send me pictures of your army and tell me about yourself." And I did. And he said, "Cool, that looks awesome. We'll see you on the 27th." And I went, "What does that mean?" And then I got an email back saying, "All right, you're scheduled for the 27th to play." And I went, okay, I'm playing on the stream. Don't know who I'm playing against. I'll be using, obviously it's 40K because it's a Friday.
Yep.
I'll be playing an all Primaris army, which is super sweet.
Because you've not much to pack.
It's sure as hell feels like it. The $140 case that I bought tells me that. Well, custom foam inserts.
I got you.
Oh, that was so nice. Watching those tanks just slide in there.
Satisfying,
perfectly.
right?
Oh, I was like,
please sponsor us.
So nice.
And then you're also taking a Shadespire Warband with you? Or did you decide against it?
You know what? Actually, I've decided against it because there's a one of the groups that I lucked into meeting up with, Parent Gamers, somebody put together a trophy for a small Blood Bowl tournament. And I went, I never get to play in those. So I'm going to play in a Blood Bowl tournament.
Nice.
Probably like 6 people.
Yeah. So stalk Dave on Twitch or on his Twitter at Alpha Devil in AK.
Yep.
Track him down when he's in England, and
I'll have stickers.
Yeah, he'll give you a sticker, maybe, if you're lucky.
I don't still have any. I mean, they're going to go fast. Mob rules, they're pretty hot.
They're pretty hot commodities. Yeah. I might even give you some patches to give away.
No, thanks. I'm good.
Follow me on Twitter at MobRulesJohn. And that has been it for Sigmar and Chill. We're going to go enjoy the chill part of it now, and we'll see you next time.